I run multiple businesses, and recently I took a whole month off work, and I've never done this before because I was too scared that everything would fall apart. But not only did nothing fall apart, but I came back more focused, more creative, and way more profitable. So here's the truth. Rest is not a weakness. It's not some reward that you get after hard work. It's an actual strategy. If you're not scheduling it into your business, like your next launch, then you're holding your business back. Hustle culture is creeping back in, and it's really causing toxicity in the business world.
Hustle, crush it, and go big.
Those all kind of sound like the same thing.
They're not. Hustle is to crush it.
Wasn't crush it the second thing?
No, that was go big.
Then the third thing was...
Crush it.
Crush it. See, this is... Now you're speaking my language.
Everyone is glorifying how much they do. It's almost that it's a thing that you are to aspire to if you're just on the go all the time and you're doing all these different things. But the thing is, it looks like people are doing more, but at the same time they're burning out and achieving less. Remember that busy does not equal productive. We see people posting their wins all the time online, and we assume that we have to somehow match that output when we have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. But actually, when you look at it, they're not doing better. They're doing more, but with less impact. And do you really want that? So if your brain is foggy, your creativity is low, and your decisions are rushed, I don't care how many hours you've worked. You're not a productive high performer, you're a tired one. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened in my month off, because I was always of the impression that I can never ever take so much time off. I always thought that actually every minute I take off, I'm not earning money for the business, time is money and all that sort of stuff, and actually I felt guilty even just sitting down and watching for a movie without having my laptop there. But I decided to take a full month off. And what I mean by that is I didn't work on the business, I didn't go on social media, I didn't do anything. I actually just spent quality time with my partner, went to visit my parents, caught up with some friends, walked my dog, read some books, and just like spent some time brainstorming what I actually really wanted to do with my life. And at the end of the month, it was incredible because I had so much more clarity. I came back and was able to change everything about the business that I didn't like, and all those things that were bugging me, it was suddenly so clear as to why they were bugging me and what I was doing that was wrong. And I was, doing the wrong things to the business because I was so clouded by all the external noise that it made me resent my own business. So I had so much more clarity. The business didn't fail. In fact, it was thriving while I was off, which shows me I've actually built something sustainable. Now, if you're worried that you can't even take one day off in the business because things are going to collapse, then it's not really you, and the scenario of entrepreneurship is the fact that you haven't built proper processes. It's the fact that you don't have a good enough team that you can trust to do things. And sure, if you're early on in business, that might be the case and you're going to work on that. But I realized that very quickly. If I couldn't trust my team to take over, then I've got the wrong team. And so these are the fundamental things that you need to be looking at. It's not that you have to be doing more, it's actually you need to be doing the right things. So maybe spend some more time finding the best possible people that you can fully trust, because if you're not healthy and you're not happy, then you're never going to run a good business. And that's also not how you should be. There's so much myth out there about you must run yourself into the ground because that's what business owners do. We don't have the time for that. And if we get sick, there is no business. So you need to be making sure that actually the fundamentals are in place before you do anything. So most business owners say that they start their business because they want more freedom, but actually they end up creating a business that they get trapped in it, and so they have no freedom at all. And that's not what I want. So my month off showed me that it was not just a break from strategy, it was the strategy. I know that it might seem daunting at the moment, but I want to help you try to schedule in rest as if it is a strategy. And I'm going to tell you the tips that worked for me, and it's not going to be easy at first, and it's going to take a bit of time for you to do, but here's what I did to help me schedule in rest as actually part of my strategy. So just as you would schedule in a meeting with a client or any other revenue generating activities, put rest into your diary. So I know that some people are also wanting to go to the gym and do more wellness or even meditation and just things like that. Schedule them in as non-negotiable meetings. I also have this little hack where I try to do things where, like, if you were to cancel a meeting, you'd have to email your client or whoever it is to give them a valid reason for cancelling that meeting. If you're going to be cancelling a rest slot or going to the gym, then you have to send yourself an email with a legitimate reason of why you're doing that. If you read that email back to yourself and think, oh my God, that sounds like a bullshit excuse, then you don't have the right to go. But if you read that back as if a client would and think, okay, that's okay, you can do that, that's excusable, then that's okay. Little hack there to try and keep you on track, because it's so easy to see something in the diary and be like, oh, I'm just gonna change that, and then just overwrite what's right for you. One thing I stopped doing is back-to-back calls. They absolutely drained my energy. So even just cutting calls by 5 minutes shorter, so instead of half-an-hour calls, 25-minute calls. Give that time to give you like a 5-minute break as well, so you can get away from things. Then don't book another call back-to-back. Book some time to decompress after that. I actually started doing things where I have a little half an hour where I can actually write up notes from that call, put action points of what I'm going to do to follow up. Because remember I said in a previous video that follow up is the most important strategy. That's what I'm concentrating on now. So I'm making notes and I'm having time after the call to be able to do that. So every Friday I have a weekly reset now. So it's a bit of a digital kind of decluttering. And so what I do is I make sure that all my files are in place, everything I've worked on that week is now organized into folders, all my screenshots are nicely tucked away. So therefore I don't just have all of this like digital clutter on my desktop and becomes overwhelming. So I do a bit of that. I go for a bit of a walk, I review the week, I kind of decompress, and I have this weekly reset. And I always make sure that I spend some time away from the desk so I can have a reflection. So I make sure I walk my dog and I go sit in the park and I just do nothing for a good half an hour every Friday, so I can actually just reflect on the week and just decompress. Because I feel like if I then just go into the weekend feeling exhausted, I then don't even enjoy the weekend because I'm still thinking about things. So I kind of unload all my thoughts and then just be able to reset into the weekend. If you have watched enough of my videos, you know by now that I love a reframe. So I like to redefine productivity. Instead of just checking off a million things off the to-do list, I want to do fewer things but do them better. So for example, I love the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And it's all about picking that one thing every day that helps you get towards your goal. So I've been doing that recently, and then I've set 3 other priorities. And I think for me, now instead of having a big long to-do list, I'm going through and checking off. I have these things and I know that if I do that one thing every day, I am always making progress towards my goal. There's that amazing quote by James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, which is pretty much the biggest business book in the world. Everyone quotes it. It is, I've got to get this right because I'm going to butcher it. You do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. So as I said before, it's all about your systems. Systems, delegation, trust. If you can't rest without chaos, then it's a business model issue. Remember, you don't need more hustle, you just need a buffer. So I hear tons of excuses by entrepreneurs, and I feel like it's because, again, social media has got this narrative and people feel like they should be acting a certain way. For example, the classic one I hear is, I can't afford to have time to rest. But you can't afford not to. Burnout is real and it's serious, and it's going to cause even more detrimental impact to your business. When you get sick, you're going to get sick for a long time, and that's going to be way more expensive than just having a rest day. Another classic is, but I love what I do, so it doesn't really count as work, because remember that thing says do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life? I'm not sure about that, because I love what I do, but it doesn't mean my nervous system needs to take a hit every single day. Everyone needs a break. Even elite athletes have a rest, and they absolutely love what they do. Their whole life revolves around it. So just because you love what you do doesn't mean you need to overwork your body. And the thing that I always hear the most, which I say, and I'm guilty of as well, is there's just too much to do. I can't take a break because I've just got so much to do. Well, the problem is, and you don't want to hear it, is that it's not there's too much to do, is that your strategy's all wrong. Your time management is all out of whack. You've prioritized things completely irresponsibly. Yeah, it means it's your fault. You've designed it wrong. And I'm saying this to me because I feel the same thing all the time. It's not there's too much to do, you haven't prioritized and strategized properly. And if your time management is broken, then rest is part of that fix. But I really want you to remember something here today. Rest is not a reward. It's not selfish. It's not soft. Rest is a strategy. Rest is the most overlooked lever for growth. So take the break and build it in. and watch how your business and your brain start to perform in the way they're actually supposed to. And if you've ever felt guilty for resting, then you're not the only one. But please do comment below, I'm choosing rest, and commit now and we'll be there with you. And if you want more honest, high-performing content without all the hustle porn, then please do hit subscribe.